21, Ordinance 14-41, creating Chapter 200A of the St. Paul Legislative Code to require that private or public groups organized to care for stray, homeless, relinquished, or abandoned dogs and cats reduce unnecessary euthanasia.
This is a public hearing. Is there anyone who wishes to be heard in opposition to this item? Is there anyone who wishes to be heard in support of this item? Come on up.
Council President Lantry, council members, I am Mike Fry, the Executive Director at Animal Ark Animal Shelter, and I'm here to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart for an outstanding ordinance and the hard work that I know all of you have put into this. And also to say a special thank you to Animal Control in St. Paul, who has for the last year or more been just setting all-time record success in the city. Animal control as a result of implementing these practices at their facility. So I just strongly urge you all to support this ordinance. I'm reflecting back to 4 years ago, Austin City Council in Austin, Texas passed a similar ordinance. Shortly thereafter, they became the largest no-kill community in the United States, and they've maintained that status ever since. Council members who voted that ordinance in are now considered the rock stars of the state of Texas, and I'm hoping next week you'll make the history here in St. Paul as well, and thank you for your work.
Hi, Madam President, members of the council. My name is Laura Atkinson. I live on Summit Avenue in St. Paul. I grew up on the east side of St. Paul. I would like to personally thank Council President Lantry for introducing this ordinance. I know that it was a difficult task for you and required a lot of work. Thank you for not giving up. I would like to ask other council members to please support her efforts by voting in favor of this ordinance. Thanks to excellent new leadership at St. Paul Animal Control this past year, thank you, Molly Linares, along with tireless efforts made by our amazing local shelters and rescues, St. Paul is on track to be one of the largest cities in the country with a consistent citywide companion animal save rate of over 90%. I saw the letter online that PETA sent you in opposition to this ordinance. I urge you to please take what they say with a grain of salt and let their numbers, an average kill rate of 90%, speak for itself. That's right, they've actually killed 90% of the animals that they've rescued in the past 3 years. I certainly don't think that is an organization that anyone should look to for advice. This ordinance does not contain any lofty goals or ideas made up by some crazy group of cat ladies sitting there in their nightgowns. These are realistic and completely attainable plans created by and supported by an extremely large group of people who work within the animal rescue and sheltering community. These are, in fact, procedures that have already been largely put into practice recently at St. Paul Animal Control. We're simply trying to make sure that these life-saving procedures are followed in the future and by all rescue groups, shelters, and pounds within the St. Paul city limits. To me, there is no good reason to oppose this ordinance. St. Paul has an opportunity to serve as a great role model, allowing for other communities to follow our lead. Adopting this ordinance is your chance to be a committee of real-life heroes and to quite literally save lives. St. Paul was voted the most livable city in America. We even proudly display that slogan on our city's website. I would have to agree, I truly love my city. I hope that this committee votes in favor of this ordinance and that we can indeed make St. Paul the most livable city in the country, not just for humans, but for animals as well.
I'm Kathy Mock, and I'm the Chief Government Affairs and Community Engagement Officer for the Animal Humane Society. I'm here to support this ordinance. We think that it's important that there be some consistency in operations across shelters, both public and private, and again would support the ordinance. Although technically the ordinance would only apply to our St. Paul shelter, we're committed to implementing the practices in the ordinance across all 5 of our shelters. So thank you for your leadership, and we support the ordinance.
Thank you. So a motion to close the public hearing by Mr. Thune. Roll call.
Tao, Thune, Tolbert, Bostrom, Brenmo, and Stark. Council President Lantry, 7 in favor, none opposed. The public hearing is closed, and the ordinance is laid over to October 22nd for final adoption.
And just a thank you to folks who came out. The only way we got here, actually, first of all, we should acknowledge Molly Linares from St. Paul Animal Control, who sort of her leadership in building relationships with all the different groups has really led us to today, and her work has been absolutely phenomenal at animal control. So we want to be sure and thank Molly, because that is sort of how we got to today, was Molly sort of thinking about language, and what we're doing is actually codifying the practices that St. Paul Animal Control has been doing, which has been really a wonderful result for the animals that are cared for there, but also financially for the city as well. So thanks to everybody who was involved. And it'll be up for final adoption next week.
Item number